Hey, it's your girl Honeybee coming at you with another video. So today is a video request from a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed already, please do press that subscription button down below. Now it's about social anxiety and how to overcome that, and this is some of the tips that I'm going to suggest to you. Anxiety can very much feel like a spiritual battle as well as a mental thing as well, and what I mean by that is that when you've got anxiety, it's something that other people can't see, so you can't actually see it. And even with ourselves, when we're experiencing anxiety, it's not tangible, it's not something we see, it's something we feel, it's something that's happening on the inside of our body, and it can be very much mentally based. It's anxiety that is going on up here, and it can manifest itself in physical symptoms such as a high heart rate, sweating, panic attacks, etc. Now I would say the first thing to do would be, my advice would be is to have your minerals checked. Ensure that the anxiety that you have got isn't, say, that a mineral deficiency. Say you might be low in magnesium or low on potassium or anything like that. Certain minerals in the body like iron, magnesium, potassium can make you feel anxious. It can actually make your heart beat faster, and you can have those same symptoms and not actually be anxious, but you know you've got that deficiency there. But if you know that you're fine in that and that it is social anxiety and that you have got anxiety, then I'm going to give you some tips. The first tip would be to breathe. It's very simple, but basically what happens is when we become anxious, we stop breathing. It's as simple as that. Oxygen, our body's closing off, and that's what can cause the hot sweats. That's what can cause the heart palpitations. That's what can cause more fear. So we need to breathe, and I would say find a space, or if you can't find a quiet space and you're in public at the time when it happens, just breathe in and out through the mouth, and try and do that for a count of 10 or count of 20. Another different type of breathing technique would be this one, where you put your fingers there on your nostril, you breathe in through that nostril, you breathe out through that nostril, then you breathe in again through the same nostril, and then out through the other, in, out, in, out. And then finally, after doing that for about 10 times, you breathe in and out again, and that basically centers you. So you're breathing in through the one nostril, out through the other nostril, in through the one nostril, out through the other nostril, and then you use 2 nostrils, and that basically centers your whole mind and body and your central nervous system. That's basically what you're doing. Oxygen brings your heart rate down, it calms you down. It's the best anxiety buster that you can ever have. It's the best thing to do in any situation, even if, for example, you're going through a medical condition and your heart's racing fast, say a heart attack or something like that, is to breathe and to not panic, and to do the best that you can, even though, say, your heart might be doing something else. The panic inside you will make things worse. And my other tip for social anxiety would be basically trying to sort of understand it. Try and find out where it's coming from. You might not necessarily know where it's coming from. You might, if it's like anxiety, you might not know where it's coming from. Social anxiety, you know that it's in social situations. For me, I find that meditating on scripture is good for whichever religion that you might be in. You know, there's going to be quotes in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah. You can, you know, take scriptures, for example, from that and meditate on those throughout the day, and ones that actually uplift you. Or if you're not a faith believer at all, you can find quotes and use that, or motivational speeches in the mornings, and just in the morning, have some quiet time before you start your day and do some meditation. When I say meditation, meditating on the words, doing some breathing exercises. And these are things that you can draw back on during that day if you do feel anxious. And what I would say as well is that you have to remember that people's realities are very different. For example, two people can be driving in the car and you might be going on holiday to a location, and one person's really excited about where they're going, and then the other person is sitting in the car thinking about the past, thinking about something that's happened in the past and how they might have could have changed what's happened in the past, or they might be worrying about the future and they're not actually in that present moment. Whereas, you know, the other person that you're with is in that present moment. And when you come out of your present moment and you are worrying about the future, something that you can't predict really, no one can really predict the future, and the past, something that you can't change, it just provides a feeding ground for anxiety. The best thing to do is to not panic, is to breathe and try your hardest. I know it's difficult for everyone, is to stay in the present moment that you are in. So those are some of my tips, and I'll give you another example where you might be leaving the house, for example, and you see your next door neighbour and you say hi, and your next door neighbour just completely ignores you. Someone who's got anxiety or social anxiety might play in their mind, why did that person not answer me back? Like, what have they done? And you start internalizing. Whereas somebody else might just go, okay, that person, you know, didn't hear me, or something's going on in that person's world, they're having a bad day, something, you know, she might have had some bad news, for example. So it's always good to try and rationalize and bring yourself back to a reality. And if you know you have social anxiety, in time, after you've done these steps, it will be good to sort of face your fear head on. So if it's public speaking, for example, put yourself in that scenario of doing some public speaking. But before you jump into that, maybe do a course on public speaking to build your confidence. Join a drama group in your spare time to help build your confidence, and to put on another character and come out of yourself. So you're not continually up there thinking on you, but you're coming out of yourself and putting your concentration on other people, which helps with social activities, or to participating in sports, for example, like football or running, or any type of physical activity that gets you moving. If you are moving and you're doing something physical, then you have not got the time to be internalizing, playing on that anxiety and creating that reality for yourself, that false reality. Most of the time with social anxiety, it really is a false reality. And those are tips that you can work towards and do. I really do hope that the tips that I have given you do help you. If any of you have any more video ideas, do let me know and I will happily do a video on it. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.